Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast, brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVRealtor.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening on a Friday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I am fantastic. How are you?
Good. Can you believe the week is almost done?
No.
I mean, this just doesn't seem right. I'd like to have somebody tell me for sure that this is Friday, because I think it feels like maybe it's only Wednesday.
It's Friday.
Did we miscount somewhere along the way?
It's Friday.
It is? All right. Well, first of all, I want to just say thank you for joining us on a Friday. Second of all, I want to tell you we got a lot of great stuff. Ton of stuff that we're going to be talking about today. So you are in store for a treat. First of all, let's talk about Patrick Murphy's hobby. Apparently, it's an interesting hobby. It's complaining about dog doo-doo. Mr. Murphy has finally won his case. It's a jury case in Boulder, Colorado. He's been acquitted of charges that he harassed a local dog owner who he videotaped at a school park failing to pick up his dog droppings. You wouldn't think somebody like this or something like this would make the news, but Patrick is a self-proclaimed dog-dropping activist. That's what he calls himself.
Wow.
In addition to the video cameras, he recently used global positioning satellite equipment to show that at one time, 4 months ago, there were 663 dog piles in this park. So he had GPS evidence from outer space that there was a lot of dog doo-doo in a park. So he's really taken this to the extreme.
Oh, yeah.
He's an excrement expert. I'm just saying. It's just, of all the things to be known for.
You know what? Hey, everybody has to have their priorities.
Got to have a hobby, you know.
Yeah.
Might as well be that. Well, good luck to you, Mr. Murphy. I wish you the very best. It sounds like a stinky job to me. Somebody's got to do it. All right. Thanks for listening on a Friday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you're selling an RV, check out RVRealtor.com. They only get paid if they help you sell your RV. If you're buying an RV, you can find great deals at RVRealtor.com. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
A 21-year-old man was arrested after calling a drugstore to say that he was on the way there to rob the place. Yeah.
Why would you tell them?
He's a polite robber. Police say Joshua Amell was arrested early on Thursday, this would have been a week ago, in a parking lot of an Osco drugstore. I used to have an Osco in the store.
Osco? I've never heard of
Oh,
Osco.
I grew up in a town with an Osco. The store called the police to report a robbery. Officers who arrived, they were told that the pharmacist was on the phone with a man that he believed was responsible for robbing the store on September 30th. He said the man told him he had a gun, and I'm on my way to the pharmacy to get more of the drugs that he stole last time. Amell was arrested when he pulled into the parking lot and walked in to get the drugs.
Well, of course he was.
Just checking to see if you got my prescription. What is your prescription? The same stuff I stole from you last time.
Didn't I? I was telling you about the thing that I was reading about, the robber that called the bank and said that he had a bomb in the building and he was on his way there to rob the bank. Remember this story?
Yeah.
And he said there's a bomb in the building and I'm coming through the drive-thru and I want you to send the money out to me through the window or I will blow up the building.
Yeah.
Well, and obviously they didn't wait around in there. They immediately evacuated the bank.
And then he was looking
in the window.
And then
when he got there, he pulled up. And cops, of course, were all around this place.
I'm the
waiting for him
guy.
to show up. And he pulls up and he's honking his horn, and nobody was coming to the window. And he gets out and he's peering in the window where the cameras are. Because there's cameras at those windows of every bank.
Yeah.
And he's peering through the windows and he says, "Hello? I'm the guy that called about the bomb."
Yeah. Really.
Immediately was arrested.
Thank you for making our job easy.
Yeah. There's no lawyer that's going to be able to get you out of that one.
Well, we're going to talk about a bunch of dogs on drugs. That's coming up here in a bit. Also, some rocket fuel samples in baby powder. Oh, it's a great program. It's all on the way. Thanks for listening on a Friday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1, plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Humans are not the only species on Earth with drug problems, Heidi. It is a sad, sad situation in Australia. The veterinarians there are reporting a rise in the number of dogs on drugs.
What?
Yeah, dogs getting high by licking the toxins from the backs of the cane toad. So there's a toxin on the back of a toad. Remember, there was always the thing, if you lick a toad, you'll get high.
Why would a dog want to?
Because
lick
dogs
a toad?
apparently like the feeling of getting high from licking the
how would
tail
they
of a
even
toad.
know? It's not like
Well, they
their
probably
owner could
licked it.
tell them, hey, if you do
No.
this, you're going to get...
They probably licked a toad, and it was like, well, that's kind of a weird feeling.
So then, what, they're sharing this information with other dogs?
Then
so that
other
all
dogs
will realize...
see what happened to that dog, and he's like, I want to be like him. Fido got high off licking a toad's tail. I want to lick a toad's tail, too.
Interesting.
So it is quite the epidemic in Australia. Veterinarians are seeing a huge number of dogs coming in, stoned out of their gourd from licking the toxins off the back of a cane toad.
That's interesting.
So, we've got mothers against drug driving. We've got SAD, students against drugs and drinking. When are we going to have dogs against drugs?
Apparently it needs to happen in Australia.
That would be dad. Dogs against drugs. We need a dad in Australia. That's what we need.
Everybody needs a dad.
All right. Going to talk about rocket fuel and your baby formula on the way.
This is John Stossel. Anything that makes it harder for you to speak limits your life. So if you or someone you know stutters, you can call the Stuttering Foundation for help. 800-992-9392.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Here's a story that just makes you wonder. Traces of a chemical used in rocket fuel were found in samples of powdered baby formula.
Oh.
That's not good. The chemical is turned up in several cities' drinking water supplies as well. It can occur naturally, but the most common thing is tied to defense aerospace sites. It's a perchlorate contamination is what they call it, and it's tied usually to like an aerospace site. The levels found could exceed what's considered a safe dose in many occasions.
I would think any amount would be an unsafe dose.
Typically, rocket fuel, not necessarily something you'd expect on the food pyramid, so I don't know that that's necessarily a good thing for you.
So is there like contamination from the water supply from the plant that uses
Probably.
it?
That must be what happened. I'm not exactly sure how else it would have gotten in there, but they're finding it in drinking water. So this is why I don't drink water anymore. I have a strict diet of nothing but beer. No, I'm kidding. I don't really. We do have a fun story coming up here. The tongue can be a powerful weapon, and I've got proof on the way. 04. Keansburg, New Jersey is where we're heading right now. 49-year-old Jeffrey Jacobodi, that's kind of a cool name.
That is a cool
He was
name.
arrested by police after harassing and threatening 2 women and a 12-year-old girl. Here's what makes this moment of duh a little more interesting. He didn't touch them. He didn't even say anything to them. How is it harassing then? The officer says Jeff saw the ladies standing on a corner. He drove up beside them and stuck his tongue out at them.
All right.
Officers say that constitutes harassment.
Oh my gosh.
So he pulled up and stuck his tongue out at some ladies. And they're like, would you quit doing that? No. You need to quit or I'm calling the police. Oh yeah? Well, watch this. That's it. You're in for it, mister. You put that thing away or I'm calling the authorities. How long did this go on?
What a baby, first of all. That's what he's doing to people.
I'm just wondering how long this went on, because if somebody stuck their tongue out at me, I don't think I'd call the police.
I wouldn't care.
If it was going on for like, an hour and a half, at this point his tongue must be getting dried out, I'm assuming. I just think that is a ridiculous story.
That is the most ridiculous story I think that we've ever shared.
I don't know if it's the most. Are you kidding me? The most ridiculous thing we've ever shared. It is the most
ridiculous thing. Can you, a grown man sticking his tongue out at people, that is ridiculous.
We have had the ridiculous stories that definitely far surpass this. We've had the most ridiculous of ridiculous. So this is nothing. Some guy getting arrested for sticking his tongue out.
Exactly.
It's
that
not
was
normal.
Ridiculous.
All right. Well, if that's the most ridiculous thing we've ever said, I have failed you as a radio host. But I will redeem myself in a moment when we get back with the scoop of the day that is on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1 plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Time now for the world famous scoop of the day. And when I say world famous, I mean I'm emailing everybody I know to let them know about this. And I'm asking them, hey, email this to everyone you know. And if you email this to everyone they know, then eventually everyone will know, and it really will be world famous. So if you get one of those emails, you got to forward it, right?
I suppose.
All right. I've never really sent one of those emails, but maybe I will. It is the Scoop of the Day, brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. I just sent them an email yesterday, by the way. I sent them an email doing a nice little, because they have people to do testimonials about how great they are.
Yeah.
And I've never done one of those. I was like, I sing their praises all the time. I'm going to send one of those in. So I'm a big fan. If you're interested in having awesome razors delivered directly to your door, you might want to check it out.
I used your razor yesterday, by the way.
Did you really?
I did.
Which one? Did you use the nice one, or did you use the
nice
little one? So you won't I bought you some Humble Twins.
I know, but I like yours.
I did notice that my executives were missing. I was looking all over. Guess what I shaved with? The Humble Twin. It's good, honestly. And that's what I was sending in the email, because I got the executives. Those are $9 a month. And then I thought, I'm going to try the one that's $1 a month, and then $2 shipping, so $3 a month for the Humble Twin. I'm like, I'm going to try that. It's nice. Look at this. Still baby smooth. Oh, yeah. And I do want my other razors back. So if you would like to get your own, go to dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, your scoop of the day. While plenty of limitations, I'm sorry, not limitations, imitations. While plenty of imitations are already available for mobile phones, Mattel has announced that they will release a Magic 8-Ball app for iPhones and Apple Watch devices. Once players have asked the Magic 8-Ball a question, they can shake their phone or shake their Apple Watch, and it'll reveal the answer. Finally, an actual reason that I might even want one of those stupid watches. I mean, why else would you need it? I could tell the time, but I can do that on a regular watch. A handcuffed man who stole a police car in Alabama, you already know this is going to be a good story. Well, he's been arrested again. After Birmingham officers got a call of a burglary in progress, officers arrested the suspect, and they put him in handcuffs with his hands behind his back, and they placed him in the back seat of a police car. Officer Scott Thurman says the suspect somehow got his handcuffs in front of him, climbed into the front seat, and drove away. Police say the unidentified suspect drove less than a mile before ditching the vehicle and taking off. Well, he's back in custody again now. Oreos. I heard this yesterday. I was absolutely amazed with this. Oreos are making s'mores-flavored cookies.
Yeah, I heard this. I heard this yesterday.
According to a press release, the flavors feature the brand's first-ever graham cracker cookie, the limited edition Oreo, which is filled with chocolate and marshmallow cream. Hits stores May 22nd. What is that? Oh, that's today.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, I'm going, I know I just went shopping, but I'm going shopping again. A new survey says that 1 in 10 Americans don't carry cash anymore.
I don't.
A new survey says that now muggers are going to start have to carrying one of those little, squares or whatever. Give me your credit card. Stand right there while I swipe this. What's your PIN number? What's the 3-digit code? All right. According to a survey by Pew Research Center, their Project for Excellence in Journalism, half of all adult Americans now either own a tablet computer or a smartphone, and 1/3 use their mobile device to view news stories, videos, and clips once a week. This is from the Pew Center for Research Project Excellence. They say over half of all adults. That's cool. Huh. So we have smartphones, and I have a tablet. I don't use my tablet nearly as much as I thought I would. Remember when I was telling you how I needed that tablet? Mm-hmm. I haven't used it for like 3 weeks now.
Oh, I know.
You've noticed this?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to start using it. I'll start using it today just to prove to you that I really did need it. A survey by the UK version of the Girl Scouts, they have a thing called Girl Guiding, so it's like their version of Girl Scouts, but a survey by their Girl Guiding found that marriage is not a priority on the list for teens as much as it used to be. Remember one day when little girls would start planning their wedding when they were 4?
Dream of their wedding.
Well, the majority of girls, 7 to 21 years old, define success as being confident and independent, not married. Just 3 years ago, the majority chose the number one achievement before 30 as marriage. Now they're saying success and independence. Get those boys away from me. That's kind of scary. And one final story. You've heard the joke that there's a Starbucks on every corner, right?
Yes.
That's not true. That's just silly. But there is one within 20 miles of 80% of Americans. The furthest you'd ever have to drive to get your coffee fix from a Starbucks is 140 miles. So even if you live in the most desolate, deserted part of our country, you are still within 140 miles of a Starbucks. Most people are within 20 miles of one at any given moment.
I would not drive 140 miles for a coffee.
I wouldn't drive 20 miles for one.
No.
We have a coffee machine right here. What do you call it? A coffee
pot?
A coffee machine.
Yeah, we have a
that
coffee
sounds
pot.
really funny, doesn't it? We got me one of them coffee machines. I got a coffee pot right here. It brews perfectly good coffee. We just watched a movie the other night. I'm not going to recommend it. I don't even remember the name of it. But the funny thing is, in the movie, they ordered coffee, and these two that were like just started dating, they both ordered the same thing. They're like, why can't you just get coffee anymore? And they said it at the same time. And I was like, I've said that so many times. I'll go to a place like that place, and I'll say, I'd like to get a coffee. And they're like, what kind of coffee? I'm like, just
coffee.
Some black liquid poured into a cup.
Blackety black.
I know you guys like to make it scalding hot for some reason. I don't need coffee that hot, but
I like mine hot.
I water mine down with a little bit of creamer and some ice cubes. Anything else cold I can find. We're going to end things right now with our strange law. It is against the law to ride a bicycle in a swimming pool in Baldwin, California. Baldwin Park, California. If you choose to ride a bicycle in a swimming pool, you will be arrested.
Some of these laws,
it really makes you wonder what happened.
For that to be enough of a problem.
Something transpired to make this become a law. I almost said perspired before. So those of you that heard me, something transpired where somebody was riding a bicycle in a swimming pool. They called the police, and the police said, nothing we can do. It's not illegal. Well, it's about time. This man will not get his bicycle out of our pool. So that, I think, is probably what happened. Baldwin Park, California, against the law to ride a bicycle in a swimming pool. This has been your Scoop of the Day, brought to you by DollarShaveClub.com/radio.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1, plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to DollarShaveClub.com/radio to learn more. That's DollarShaveClub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Thank you for listening on a Friday. This is where I typically talk to a guest, like an author or somebody that's awesome. And today
you only have me.
I do have somebody awesome. I have my beautiful wife, Heidi. How you doing over there?
Awesome. How are you?
Well, I'm not as good as you, I guess, but I'm awesome. We're going to talk about a couple of things here. Think politicians are corrupt? Wait till you hear this one. A political candidate has won an election, thus a seat in Taiwan's parliament, even though he had been convicted of corruption, illegal possession of a firearm, and attempted murder. In fact, he ran the entire campaign from his prison cell. Yen Ching-pao took the election in a landslide, even though he faces spending the next 20 years behind bars. He may be serving while he's serving. I mean, he's serving in the parliament while he's serving time in prison. According to the media in Taiwan, the turning point in the race came when his family fell to their knees and tearfully pleaded to voters at a political rally on the eve of the election. And that's when people said, okay, let's vote for the prisoner guy.
Wow.
Now let's head to the Czech Republic. Here's a story about a burglar, and he apparently scares easy, Heidi.
Okay.
He broke into a restaurant, and as he was making his way toward the cash register, he was frightened out of his wits by loud music. That would be scary if you're sneaking in. Then on a wall across the room, in the dark, he thought he could make out something moving. That was enough for him. He quickly bolted out the door. What was it that frightened our bumbling burglar? Well, some places have a watchdog. You could say this place has something kind of like that. It's a watch fish. There was a fish in a tank. It's one of the singing fish things, like a Billy Bob fish or whatever.
Oh, a big mouth.
Yeah.
Big mouth Billy Bass.
That is their burglar alarm.
Oh, funny.
He walked in. They had that set up so when you walk by, it would start singing. It started singing, and the big mouth Billy Bass was flipping around. He saw something moving and singing, and it scared him, and he ran away.
Our son has one of those.
I know. I did not realize it could be used as a burglar alarm as well.
I didn't know that they were set up on a sensor. I thought you had to push the button.
No, there's a sensor. You can flip it so when you walk in front of it, it goes.
Oh.
That's what they had theirs set on. He was
That's
foiled
funny.
by the big mouth Billy Bass by Brink's Home Security.
Well, we should set ours up right inside the front door.
I hate that thing. And if you invented it and you're listening, I'm sorry. It really is cool. And it was awesome the first time.
It is very cool.
The first time, it's cool. And then after like 950 times, you're like, can somebody please break that thing or throw it in the microwave or something? So there you go. Big Mouth Billy Bass by Brink's Home Security. I think they ought to start instituting that. Seriously. All right. This has been, no, it hasn't been your scoop of the day. We already did that. What is this then?
I don't know.
This is just
a
nothing.
break.
This has been nothing on a Friday on the John and Heidi Show.
Hi, it's Jewel and Kellie Pickler. Lung cancer is the #1 cancer killer of women. So we've joined the American Lung Association's Lung Force because it's going to take a force of women to create new hope. Please join us. Fight lung cancer in women at lungforce.org.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Today is a very special day, Heidi. You know what today is?
What is today, John?
Today is Friday. It is the 22nd day of May. It is Canadian Immigrants Day. So is this the day to immigrate to Canada? To Canada or to leave Canada? Canadian Immigrants Day. Canada. Oh, boy. Is it Friday yet?
Yeah.
Is it the day to go there or leave there? No. That place that I won't say again.
It's the day to celebrate the people who left there to come here.
All right, that'll work. Today is Don't Fry Day. So even though it's Friday, you're not supposed to fry today.
You're not supposed to fry or you're not supposed to get fries.
You're not supposed to have any fries. You're not supposed to fry anything. You're supposed to eat
love
nothing
fries.
fried. Today is Harvey Milk Day. I never did see that movie.
Me neither, and I don't want to.
I don't know. I didn't hear great things about it,
No,
so I just didn't rush
either.
on. National Maritime Day, National Title Track Day, World Goth Day. Hey, I'm wearing black on World Goth
You
Day.
are.
I am. I've never been in style before. Heat Awareness Safety Day. I've also noticed that I'm kind of hot because I am wearing black after all. And National Wig Out Day. So good day to get mad and wig out, which I think I also just call Friday. So
Just another day.
honestly, it's been a while since I've wigged out. I remember wigging out several times, but not in a long time. I've been doing really good. When I start to get upset, I say, "John is patient. John is kind." Remember that?
Yeah.
We learned that at church. From 1 Corinthians, they say, just put your name there instead of love is patient, love is kind. Put your name there. Go through that, and you'll be better. I'm like, you know what? That really does work. Or I could do what Frank Costanza did. Serenity now! Just saw that episode like a week ago. All right, this has been your special day. Today, I'm going to celebrate with a Canadian immigrant while eating fries, even though we're not supposed to, with our black shirts for National Goth Day.
There
That's
you
my
go.
plan. So
All right.
if you
That's
fit
a
any of those
plan.
things, get a hold of me. We got partying to do. Coming up, we're going to talk about the janitorial staff and why they're in the news. That is on the way. Thanks for listening on a Friday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you're selling an RV, check out RVRealtor.com. They only get paid if they help you sell your RV. If you're buying an RV, you can find great deals at RVRealtor.com. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Take a listen to this story. The janitorial staff in North Carolina health store, they called the bomb squad after finding a box. It was ticking. Written on it in a pile of trash, it said tick, tick, tick.
Oh.
The box wasn't actually ticking. It just had tick, tick, tick written on the box, on the outside. They thought it might be left over from a bomb drill from the day before. The janitors didn't know. The bomb squad searched the entire building, finally opened the box to determine it was safe. It was just an empty box that said tick, tick, tick. So, but it is better to be safe than sorry.
Maybe
You know?
there was a tick in it.
I don't know. It wasn't ticking. It just said tick, tick,
I
tick
don't know,
written
maybe
on
there
it.
was an actual tick.
Is
Like,
that all it takes to freak people out these days?
Well, I would be a little
I would
freaked
too.
out.
I would, honestly. I'd be, if you walked out and there was,
Yeah.
imagine sitting on your front step,
Oh,
if there was
yeah.
a box that said,
I'd be very freaked out.
I wouldn't want to be the one to open that, you know, just because you never know. There are weird people out there.
Oh, there are some nuts.
Yeah. Coming up here in a bit, we're going to tell you how to get rid of a cold if you have one. That is on the way on this Friday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1, plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
As we make our way to summertime, I know this weekend is a long weekend for a lot of folks. If you're out there and you're partying down, it's not hot in a lot of parts of the country. It's kind of cool. So if you go camping and you get a little ill from maybe it's drinking, but maybe it's a cold. Next time you catch a cold, you're supposed to forget about the vitamin C and aspirin. You know what you're supposed to do?
What are you supposed to do?
This would be good news for you because you had a sniffle the other day.
I did.
Take a good brisk walk.
Ah.
A new study reveals that exercise helps you fight the common cold. The study showed that men and women who walk 45 minutes a day recover from colds twice as fast as people who don't. So if you're sitting around lazy on your duffer, you're not going to get better as well as quick. So go for a 45-minute walk every day, and you won't be as sick. Well,
We should go for walks every day.
we should.
We don't.
But we won't.
But we should. And 45 minutes?
I know. I mean,
That's just crazy.
Who's got that kind of time? Hey, we're going to talk about how you can be more smarter coming up here in a little bit. I meant to say it wrong. I knew I was saying it wrong. But we're going to talk about that coming up in a short while on the John and Heidi Show.
This is John Stossel. Anything that makes it harder for you to speak limits your life. So if you or someone you know stutters, you can call the Stuttering Foundation for help. 800-992-9392.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
A gentleman by the name of Steven Johnson is out with a new book that he says finds the more you disorganize your brain, the smarter you are. Whoa, hey, I could be in for some good news here, Heidi. According to Time magazine, Johnson used results of a neuroscience experiment by Robert Thatcher for his findings. Among his points, Johnson cites research showing that the volume of ideas bouncing about make large cities disproportionately more creative than small towns. Having multiple hobbies allows your brain to subconsciously compare and contrast problems and solutions. Forming new connections at the margin of each and reading multiple books at the same time versus serially lets your brain combine new ideas and develop new connections. So what he's saying is the more stuff going on, the more you're going to think about things and come up with solutions. And I like the part about reading more than one book at a time. Who does that?
You.
Me. Lately I haven't because I got a smartphone and I quit reading everything.
I don't know. I read one book at a time. But my books are not like your boring kind of books where it's all facts and just stuff like that. Mine are just stories.
We mentioned earlier in the program some movie. I don't even remember what it was called, but there was a movie and they were talking about in the movie, do you like fiction books? And the guy was like, yes. And that's how they thought they knew for sure that they were like perfect for each other. And my answer to that would be no. I don't like fiction books.
Yeah, and I do.
Because when I read something, I like storing facts in my brain.
Yeah, that
instead of fantasies. I'm like, I don't.
Heck out of me.
But I tried reading the books that you read. I'm like, I just don't. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
this
see, I like to
me.
read murder mystery stuff.
I noticed this.
Yeah,
I see those.
Those are the kind of books I read.
And I saw your crib notes on how to kill me. I was like, wait a minute.
I'm making notes. This is how he got caught. This is what you should have done.
Don't do this. Don't put the murder weapon under the mattress. Apparently they look there. So, no, I like to read things that are, something where you'll learn something. And numerous times I've read like one book about one subject and another book about another subject. And then while you're reading the two, my brain connects the two just like that story said. Which is really kind of cool. So there you go. I'm going to have to read his book now. And here's a dumb thing. This story doesn't have the title of his book.
Oh.
His name is Steven Johnson. He's out with a new book, but they never told you in the entire story.
Oh, that's crazy.
The title of his book.
Yeah.
So apparently I have to Google that and find his name. All right. Coming up here in a bit, going to talk about a chest that was purchased at an estate sale, but there was some really interesting stuff in there. We're going to chat about that on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you're selling an RV, check out RVRealtor.com. They only get paid if they help you sell your RV. If you're buying an RV, you can find great deals at RVRealtor.com. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Interesting story right here. Emil Nodal bought a chest at an estate sale for $100. But inside, he discovered something much more valuable. According to ABC News, he was moving the chest to his vehicle, and he discovered a hidden drawer in the bottom.
Oh, cool.
Nodal said it was full of rings and diamonds and gold and all kinds of stuff. That's when Nodal said his sense of right and wrong kicked in. He said, I didn't buy those things, and if I kept them, I wouldn't feel right about it. Instead, he returned the chest and all of the items inside the sale to the original owner and said, hey, I just found all this stuff in there. How nice is that?
That was very nice.
Now, pause for a moment and think, would you have done that? Or would you have kept that?
I probably would have kept them.
I think you would have.
I purchased the chest. And so I feel like everything that was in it would belong to me because I bought it.
If you went to court, you would probably win because you did purchase the chest and all of its belongings.
Yes, I did.
But I agree with Emil Nodal which I just wanted to be able to say his name again because that's a cool name.
I agree with what
he did. The right thing.
Yes, he absolutely did the right thing, but he wouldn't have had to because he did buy it.
Officially, if you were going black and white, right and wrong, could he have said, "Hey, I bought that"?
Yeah, I own it. It's mine.
He
Absolutely,
could have. But I do think he did the right thing. So, hats off to you, Emil Nodal. It's a great thing for you to do. I was trying to think about this. I just wanted to say Emil Nodal again. Isn't that a cool name? Emil Nodal.
Like a
what?
Dr. Seuss name.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Like from a kid's storybook.
It sounds like, it does. But you know what? It would be a good character because he has a really big heart and he did the right thing.
It would definitely be one of the characters that always does the right thing.
Emil Nodal does the right thing. There you go. It doesn't even say what town this is in, so it could be right here in town. I have no idea. If it is Emil Nodal, I'd like to take you out for coffee. I'll let you buy, of course. I'm just kidding. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1 plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Are your adult children still living at home? Well, if that's the case, you're not alone. It's kind of a growing trend, Heidi. 3 in 10 young adults live with parents, the highest level since the 1950s. A weak economy is to blame. High debt levels are to blame. Lazy kids are to blame. I don't really know what is to blame, but they're saying, perhaps surprisingly, most are happy with their living arrangements. The adults are happy to have the kids there, and the kids are happy to be there. In 1980, about 11% of young adults lived in multi-generational households. You know what that means? It means that there's multiple generations there.
Grandparents and parents. And
suggesting that a strong economy helped youngsters gain independence more quickly. Today, 29% instead of 11% of 25 to 34-year-olds either have never moved out of their parents' home ever, or say they returned home, they boomeranged back in recent years because of the economy, according to a Pew report. We've talked about them twice today.
We have.
The Pew report. According to the study, among 18 to 24-year-olds, the figure is even higher, 53% instead of 29% live at home. We have a son that's 18. He just graduated.
Yep, he just graduated.
So he's living with us.
But he counts. Out right now.
Well, I boxed all of his stuff up. I was like, hey, great, congratulations. So do you want me to move this to the garage or to the... I can help you. I got a good strong back. I didn't really. I absolutely love him, and I want him to stay forever.
I'm actually good with him being at home, but I know he's ready to go.
Yeah, he keeps talking about
when he's moving out. He's going
to
be out by the end of the summer.
He's like, well, I'm looking for places. I'm going to leave. I'm like, okay, you might want to get a job first. So
yeah,
I don't know if you know how that works.
You know, it's good. It'll be good for him to be on his own. I'm excited for him.
I am too. Hey, we're wrapping things up here on the radio program, but we do a podcast, the same program as a podcast. We do a bonus break for the podcast. Something that I've always wondered, and I'm going to give you the answer today. Have you ever watched at the end of the movies, you see things like Gaffer and Best Boy? Have you ever wondered why those things are called that? Oh, you're going to find out on our... You haven't? No. I'm a dork. I can't help it. I was like, Best Boy? Why that? So we're going to chat about that coming your way in our bonus break. Thanks for joining us. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great weekend. Have a wonderful Memorial Day. And for all of the men and women who served our great country, thank you.
And God bless you.
God bless you, because I'll tell you, our country would not be the same without the men and women who put on that uniform.
Absolutely.
And did what had to be done for us to have the freedom. So thank you, 1,000 times thank you. We've got a lot of fun stuff for Monday, so be sure to come back and join us right here. Same radio station, same time. Thanks for joining us on the John and Heidi Show.
Time now for the bonus break, only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Time now for our bonus break where we can do whatever we want to do. And today I decided I'm going to try to make people smarter.
Okay.
You ready for that?
Of course.
Did you prepare anything for the bonus break?
No.
Imagine that.
Don't you look at me like that.
I'm just saying.
I can prepare something quick.
No. At the movies, at the end, the credits go rolling by, and you see the copyright notice, and you see the all that stuff. But I never really knew what some of these things meant. All I knew about a gaffer was that I thought it was like an old guy. I don't know why I even thought that. But every film has a gaffer. And I'm not exactly sure why. It says here the gaffer is the head electrician who lights the set for the director of photography. Why do they call him a gaffer? I don't know. I guess it's better than calling him Wirehead or Bulb Bunny or, whatever. And then there's a best boy. He hasn't won any popularity contests or anything. It's not like they said, okay, who was the best boy on the film? This guy? Okay, he's the best boy. Far from it. He's the gaffer's helper. He's the assistant gaffer, which makes him, not quite the gaffer, I guess. So even if he's a she, he or she would still be best boy. So there you go. This is from The Straight Dope by Cecil Adams. If you want to double check my work, you can go check that out. What are you doing over there? Because
I was looking for my joke that I'm going to tell today.
Are you telling it now?
Are you ready for me to tell it?
Do I need to get my...
Done?
I know your kind of jokes.
No, you don't have to bleep me. We're on the internet.
I understand.
Say whatever I want.
I can bleep. I can bleep whatever I want. This is still a family program, internet or radio. It's still a family program, and we love you all. So go ahead, Heidi.
Okay.
Beep. I'm just kidding. I didn't. Okay, go ahead.
In South Dakota, Moosehead is a beer. In West Virginia, it's a misdemeanor.
Are you done yet? Just getting my keys. I'm going to leave here before the authorities show up. You're pretty proud of yourself over there, aren't you?
Oh, I love that joke. That's so funny.
Why West Virginia? What's wrong with those guys?
I don't know. It's just a joke. I've never even been to West Virginia.
What happens if we have people listening in West Virginia?
They'll be like, yeah, she's right.
All right. Well, we're leaving for real this time. We might never come back. Thank you for listening on a Friday.